Guest with Duck series. Okay, so myself Dax Patel. Okay, today we're gonna solve question number 1512. It's basically number of goods pairs. Okay, and like we those who don't know which question we completed yesterday, so you can watch the video link in checkout, link in I button, and the question is find the highest altitude. Okay, so today we're gonna solve question number 1512, number of good pairs. Okay, so what is basically this question is basically it depends upon your array comparison, like arrays in one array is given of nums and its comparison between inner elements of the array. Okay, so I'll quickly explain what is question. Then we move to the our example part and then code. Okay, given an array of integers. Okay, we have given an array of integers, like nums of array given. Return the number of good pairs. Okay, you have to just return number. Okay, how many good pairs are there? Number of that pair only. Okay, not index, not value, not like anything. Okay, a pair of I and j. Okay, like we have to check a pair of I and j, like this exist or not or multiple exist. It's called good if. Okay, here are the given condition. What if like then nums of I equal to nums of j, then it's being called good. Okay, it's called good pair. If the condition satisfies, then we can say this pair is good pair. Okay, and I is less than j. Okay, like it's basically try to saying that we have to start from ith index to jth index. We could not compare with last one to first one. We have to go in ascending order from first to last. Okay, so now I'll explain example one. So here you can see we given a nums of 1231 array. Okay, and the value of r is, so we have to check number of good pairs. So you can see at zeroth index we have one. Okay, then on third index we have again one. So this one and this one, it's become a good pair. 0 and 3, 0 comma 3. Okay, I and j, it's a good pair. Again 0 and fourth index is also good pair, because these two are also be possible. Then like we have to go for check the two nothing combination. These three and these three are also good pair. Okay, a 2 index and 5 index. And lastly you can see this third index one and fourth index one. So you can see clearly there are four pairs of that. Okay, four good pairs, and we have to return just numbers. There are four good pairs. Okay, then like that another example or two example are given there. Okay, you can read it. So these are conditions. The nums dot length is less than or equal to 100 and greater than or equal to 1. Okay, and I is, this basically try to say is nums of I is like between 1 to 100. Okay, but these conditions are not that much useful. You just have to given for your basic understanding what is range of test cases are here. Okay, so I hope you got clear questions, logic, what is question try to saying, and how you can solve this question. Okay, now we move to their code. Okay, so now we move to their code part. First, I'll explain what logic we're gonna use in this code. So you can clearly see that we have to take comparison in our one area. So we have to take nested loop. Okay, one for loop inside another one for loop. Okay, so for that purpose, we have to like declare one variable for storing our counts. Okay, like count variable, if our pairs exist, like one for loop and another for loop, and again even if condition to compare in between, if this exists, so then we increase our count, and at the end of the function we can print uh, count variable. So now we move to the code part. Firstly we'll start with let count is equal to 0. Okay, count variable value is 0. Then we have to take one for loop starting from I, and I is 0. Okay, I is less than nums dot length. Okay, we'll discuss. We have to only take to the length of the our array, and then again I plus plus, we have to iterate to the end. So then again we have to take nested. So I will taking another for loop inside one for loop. This is now we have to take j variable, and here is twist. We have to only compare from I. Okay, they clearly mention that j is greater than I, so we have to take this like j is I plus 1. Like j is starting from the i's array. Like what I am trying to say is that j's value is starting from I value plus 1. Okay, I hope you got clear this. Then j is again less than nonce dot length. So we have to take check the end of the array. Then j. Okay. So now we have two for loop. Okay. It's basically iterating from each and every indexes. Now I have to take one condition if for comparing both of these. Okay. So if nums of I equal to nums of j with nums of j. Okay. Why am I using triple equal to basically wants to compare strictly compare between two things. Okay. Then what if this condition true? It basically increase count plus plus. Okay, it's basically increase count value. Okay, now we have almost everything. Now we want just return thing. Okay, return forward, print the value. Okay, return count. Okay, it basically return like counts value, which are comes from this if condition. Okay, now I'll run this question. Okay, so you can check here our test cases are accepted. It's basically like three test cases which are in example. Okay, now we submit to check further lead codes test cases and see that this is also accepted. Now we talk about the time complexity and space complexity of this our code. Okay, so first you can see that what we are using here one for loop. So it's basically like to the end of the our array. So it's basically order of n, and we're taking nested for loop inside one for loop. So it's basically converted into the order of n square. Or time complexity of this code is becomes order of n square. Now space complexity we not taking another array like of storing a whole our array. We taking basically one variable to store like value. So it basically won't get order of n. It's basically order of one. So time complexity becomes order of n square, and our space complexity becomes order of one. Okay, so you might be thinking like this is not optimized solution. Yeah, this is not optimized solution. We gonna optimize this code not by these two for loops. We are taking another thing like we already which one. So you can see I am writing code for that part. And this optimized solution is basically you try to do optimize in every each and every question. So you basically improve your logical thinking. Okay. So firstly I'll remove this code. Okay, now we move to the optimized solution for this. So firstly we'll using in frequency array. Basically frequency array is used to store it's basically simple. Like, we're writing code then you can understand better. Okay, so here you can see we have frequency variable, and in that we can store an array. Okay, array of 101 length. Okay, it's basically stores 101 length. The filling start from filling 0. Okay, starting variable is 0. Then we again we want to count variable in every word, so we're taking count as 0. Now we take for loop. We'll write this with a new way. Let n of nums. Okay, so this basically move to the end of the our nums. Okay, it's basically move to the each and every indexes. You don't have to write with like starting from the I is equal to 0 to the I is less than n. Okay, it's basically move from let n of nums each and every index. Okay, you can use this solution. Okay, then we using simple one line solution. so we don't need curly brackets. Okay, then count plus equal to frequency of n and plus plus. So count has value of frequency of n. Okay, if count is equal to frequency of n plus plus, then it will basically increase count's value. Okay, then again for loop completed our in one line, then we use a return count. Okay, so one more time I'll explain what we'll do in this question. We have one array of 101 length, because here you can clearly see that they already given condition. The nums length is max to max 100. Okay, so we using array of 101 length starting from 0, filling from 0. Okay, then we use one for loop from n to like each and every indexes of nums, like n is length of nums, and then return count of it. And here we use comparison between if frequency and nums are equal, so it basically increase counts value. Now we'll run. So you can clearly see that our test cases are accepted. We'll submit this for further lead code test cases check. These also are accepted. Our runtime is 0 ms. Okay. All 49 out of 49 test cases passed. So I hope you got clear what we'll do in this question. We'll and you'll learn new things, frequency. Okay. And you can basically use array of particular length. Okay. I hope you got clear everything about this question. If you find any doubts, just ask me in comments, okay, or any platform like Twitter or LinkedIn. Okay, you can ask me also there. To the tomorrow's question. So tomorrow we're gonna solve question number 1365. How many numbers are smaller than current? Okay, let me open the question. So how many numbers are smaller than the current? This question we're gonna solve tomorrow. It's basically array based again. You have to check comparison. Given the array of nums for each nums of I, find out how many numbers in the array are smaller than it. That is for each nums. Okay, we have to do this for it. You have to count the number of valid j's such that j is not equal to I and num of j is less than I. Okay, return the answer in an array. Okay, we have to return whole array. So input is like this. So how many, like there are given a 0 index 8, 1 index 1, second index 2, third index 2, and fourth index 3. Okay, and if we want to compare between if there are 8 exist for smaller number. Okay, uh, what I am trying to saying is that you have to compare each and every value and check how many numbers are smaller than our current number. So in this first, okay, every other are small, so we have to take 4. Okay, less than 1 are not given, so we can take 0. From less than 2, we have to take only 1. It's basically we cannot take equal to, because they clearly mention we have to take less than, smaller than. Okay, smaller than, we don't have to take equal to numbers, so we don't keep the 2. And again for 2 is 1, and less than 3. Okay, less than 3 is 3 numbers, 1 2 2. Okay, I hope you got clear basic what is question this question is about. And I am really thinking that you have to try this question by yourself. If you learn these 10 days properly, you can solve this question easily. Okay, and if you don't solve, okay, we can solve this question tomorrow. You can watch video and understand logic, and then afterward try to solve this question. Okay, now meets on tomorrow video. Thanks for watching the video, and if you haven't started DSS series, like playlist link are there, at the end of video you can start from the day one to implement your DSA